Be prepared for highly offensive language throughout, adult and sexual themes, and possible flashing images.
What a show, the first surprise double eviction of the series and a week's worth of Big Brother all in one night. Do not say we don't treat you. But whilst the housemates recover from the drama, we're going to have all the fallout in the Bot studio. It's time for a bit of double trouble. It's time for Big Brother's Bit on the Side! Night. It felt like we fit literally an entire week into one night. What? We actually did it as well. And for the first time this series, it was a surprise double eviction. Savage. And I think it's fair to say our housemates were really not expecting it. I mean, Thomas was particularly shook.
Comes out of nowhere, just hits you like a mud bucket full of water.
Oh, anyway, earlier this week, you were asked if you wanted to vote to save or vote to evict for the rest of the series. You made your decision, and tonight you sent Hussein packing and evicted him from the Big Brother house. But if that wasn't enough, in a game-changing twist of fate, Isabella was also shown the door after being nominated by the rest of the house.
Very shit, it's certainly very shit.
It is a bit, true say, Cameron. We've got lots to talk to both Hussein and Isabella about tonight. They're both going to be squeezing on my sofa. No tea, just a limited amount of sympathy, obviously, as per usual. But I must get on and introduce my Friday night panel. First up tonight, she's used to tuning in from her sofa at home, but we've treated her to a little night out tonight. She's already raided my dressing room, stolen the booze, stolen the crisps from the green room, and raided the production team fridge. You can take the girl out of South London, it's Sandy Bowler! Next up, 10 years ago, he entered the doors of Big Brother to a house full of women, and it sounds like every man's dream. Obviously, not mine, but it's the only Ziggy that doesn't come with a health warning. It's Ziggy Legman! And finally, tonight, we are in the presence of acting royalty. She wowed us in Goodness Gracious Me, made me low in Still Open All Hours, but it was the iconic Queen Zainab Masood in EastEnders that she truly played. She ain't my mother, but I'd love to play her secretly gay son. It's Nina Wadia! Well, this definitely is an eviction night panel. Two housemates are gone, but what do we make of the results down the hill here? Let's talk about the public vote first, which saw Hussein evicted. Nina Wadia, everybody, sorry. Nina, so lovely to have you back on the show.
Thank you.
Hussein, was it the right choice, do you think?
Yes, absolutely. No, I'm sorry.
Don't shout at Zainab, all right?
He admitted himself. He knew he was going to go. You can't walk in there going, I am king of the castle, and not expect the public to go, get out of here.
You think it was the right choice, Ziggy? What about you?
I think there's got to be a height restriction for any king. And I think, simple. It's the first thing you got to look at. You got to look up to your king.
I think he was missing the man's them.
Yes.
He was missing his man's them.
Do you think it was the right choice for him to go tonight?
Yeah.
You do? Yeah. Do you use it? No.
No, I think, especially now we know Isabella went second, I would have loved seeing Hussein and Lewis without that middle figure. No. So I would have loved seeing Thomas go and seeing that Hussein-Lewis relationship change.
Hussein, I'd like to say, and I've said it before...
Can we just appreciate the gold, little...
Darling. Right, I loved
He's pulling out all the stops for the last series.
I loved Hussein, because as I said before, he's injected something that needed in the house, and I supported the king. I love the king, and I thought he should not have gone tonight.
You didn't think he should have gone? Oh, Ellie Baressi's piping up. Look on the sheer number tonight, girl.
Now he's gone.
Let it all hang out, says Barbara.
Barbara,
there's no argument here, there's no drama. Now he's gone, what are you going to watch? Paint dry? Paint dry? Come on, people!
Yous are on fire tonight! Well, that was Hussein, but the drama continued in the shock second eviction of the night, which saw the house compete against each other in another nail-biting game changer. This led to Isabella becoming the second evictee of the evening. Nina, I mean, when they said we were doing a week in a night, I thought, I mean, we've tried this live before, but they did it, and I mean, props to the production side of it tonight. Really, really good. Are you surprised that Isabella was the one to go?
No, I think it must be really hard to go in later in the show. And truth be known, I think the fact that she's the one that actually caused the spark between Lewis and Hussein, I think it was only right that she was evicted as well.
Yes.
Ziggy, you've been in there. You know how devastating it is. But how would you have felt, I mean, if you went on an eviction that weren't even supposed to be an eviction in your head?
Everything in there throws your mind completely. I think her evictee kind of interview was awesome.
You did?
I thought she came across really nice, yeah.
I think, do you know what, I've got to say this, now she's out, I actually think Isabella's a really lovely girl. I do, I think she is a lovely girl.
Isabella to win, Ryland?
Yeah, Isabella to win.
Impossible.
No, wait, too late.
No, she's out, it can't happen.
He's pulling your leg,
I'm just kidding.
I think she messed up. She messed up. At the beginning, yeah, she was cool, but yeah, she messed up along the way.
Well, look, we're going to be speaking to them in a bit, but let's just look at it. Obviously, Cameron was the richest housemate in there, and Big Brother has said, you know, big coins bring big privileges, as we saw. He was immune from nominations tonight. If he wasn't, do you think there was any possibility he could have been up there with the nominated housemates
think so.
tonight?
No.
You don't? No one?
No.
No?
No.
And that's the end of that question.
He knows the game too well not to be up there.
Yeah. Fair point.
Every day.
Elsewhere tonight, though, things were a bit calmer following Zoe and Hussein's big argument. And then we saw quite a reflective Zoe. She said it had all been a big build-up. She'd just had enough. Nina, the question on probably the nation's lips, during that argument, what would Zainab have done?
Slap some sense into
There we go. Zainab Bassoon. Zainab, actual Bassoon. This has caused a very big drama, and believe me, I've seen all your tweets about it. Hussein said it wasn't Zoe's battle and that none of his friends would have sat back like Lewis did. Now, Sandy, do you think this has maybe changed Zoe's view of Lewis? Because we saw a little realisation in her head where she was like, maybe I'm thinking of things a bit differently.
I'm not being funny or anything about it, but I think she fancies him.
You think Zoe fancies Lewis?
I'm not wrong, am I? She does.
You think Zoe fancies Lewis?
I do.
Hang on, she's wearing a gold. She's agreeing.
There's no doubt. When I saw that yesterday, Zoe has got a mad crush on him, like all the other women. She does, and that's why she made an embarrassment of herself yesterday.
No, Grace. Sorry, darling.
Can I just say one thing?
Lovely salmon dress, darling.
Right, thank you. Right, so now we've got Zoe, who completely goes out the blue, like completely goes it, you know, loses it. But her friend, if you remember on the day one, Kieran was our friend, yeah?
Kieran was her mate, yeah.
Now, Kieran was the one defending, or trying to stop the fight at the time.
Yeah.
But yet, Zoe fights more for Lewis, who's known for how long?
Yeah. Oh, you mean as in like the reaction?
He bothered. What are we all on about here? I'm sorry. Zoe made a comment calmly. Hussein attacked her, so Zoe then just fights back. Lewis had nothing to do with it, so why are we all getting involved with Lewis going, Lewis didn't start it! Lewis did not start that. It was an argument between Zoe and Hussein. Lewis was not starting.
Let that happen. We do have to say, though, there were quite touching scenes with Zoe and Hussein. They gave each other a little hug the morning after. Ziggy, Hussein's now gone.
Yes.
Do you think Zoe can move on from that? Like, it seems that she forgive him for that.
One less black bag in his jacket, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Well, Lewis and Isabella were also in a rather huggy mood as well. They spent the night in the same bed, ladies. As Isabella said, you can't help who you fancy. Nina, I mean, she's gone now, but could we have maybe seen something happen between them two?
It was absolutely, possibly the most boring bed scene of the day.
You wanted a bit more?
Yeah, you needed
It's boring, that bed scene that they've done.
I think Lewis was being a bit tantric, if I'm honest.
You think Lewis is a bit
little
more
bit
into
tantric.
tangent? Well, Hussein and Isabella are going to be here very soon, giving their side, but lots more action. But give this lot a round of applause. What's going on tonight? Oh, it's a Friday. Now spending my Friday night with you lot. If I wasn't here, I'd probably be snuggled up with a chick flit, a bottle of budget Prosecco, and a big old 12-inch create your own pizza. But every night it feels like movie night when this woman's around. The mama to my Mia, too. Here we go again. The la-la to my land and the back to my future. It's Borehamwood's finest, Mrs. Emma Willis. It's been a very dramatic night tonight.
Hasn't it?
Willis, what's going on?
Oh!
You get that, Fly?
We've got it all going on tonight, haven't we?
I mean, that was an exciting show tonight.
That was
it
nice.
Really, really
I
was.
love doing all that stuff as it happens,
It
rather
was
than just watching a bit
drama-rama.
of tape from yesterday.
The point of the show. How did you find it tonight?
I loved it tonight.
Loved it.
Yeah, because it was so different. I was like, what are we doing now?
And Hussein, he obviously
Yeah.
went on the public vote tonight.
Yeah.
Do you think that was the right choice tonight?
Yeah.
You do? You think it was the right choice?
I do. I'm a bit torn with Hussein because, you know, he's one of my hometown boys.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
He went in guns blazing too much.
Exactly. He
too much.
did, and that's what I
Yeah.
said to him tonight. You know, you give it the big un, and you know you've got that cocky
Backfired.
swagger going on, and I get that you know you have an image or whatever. But if he'd have just like reined it in a bit and showed us the other side,
He might
the
still
bit
be
that we
there.
saw, the bit that we saw in the diary room when he got emotional about his mum and he talked about what it had been like
In
at
his past.
school, like you know, like drop those guards a little bit. You know, don't. Get those barriers down.
We obviously had a vote this week. The public decided vote to evict or vote to save. The public stuck with vote to evict. If it had gone to vote to save, do you think Hussein could have still been in that house tonight?
No.
You don't? You don't think it would have changed the outcome?
I don't know. No, because even though I don't think Thomas would have been bottom, and I don't think Lewis would have been bottom. As much as Lewis is quite a polarising housemate, I think he's probably. I mean, I don't know, but I can't imagine people not picking up the phone to save him. But I don't think Hussein's been in there long enough to have that kind of support behind him.
The support online.
The thing with like Lewis, he's been through a massive journey.
Yeah.
And then you start thinking about the family and stuff like that, what they've been through as well at the same time. I mean, just from someone who's been on it.
Yeah.
And I think
it's a big deal for the people on the outside.
He's been through a massive journey,
well,
and I
to
think
watch their loved
actually
ones.
he's battered everyone out the side. So, you know, when I came on last time, I was thinking, Lewis, I'm not sure about him.
Yeah.
Now I think like
There does seem to be something about Lewis that makes everyone either go
Everything
for him
seems
or
to
it does
gravitate
revolve
towards
around
Lewis in that house at the moment,
Yeah.
whether it's good or bad
Yeah.
when it comes down to him.
And what is quite interesting, you say that everything gravitates towards him, but he doesn't seem to seek it out. Like, he doesn't want to be part of the group. He doesn't kind of...
segregating himself.
And that's not me sticking up for him. He's a very layered... He's like an onion.
Yeah,
He's a very layered individual, and I think that's what makes him so fascinating, because you never know what he's going to do next, or where it's coming from, or why he's like that. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he won the game changer tonight. He saved himself, and we did see.
If you watch him, like he said, you know, he was very like to everybody tonight, wasn't he? Because he feels like he's constantly up, constantly fighting everybody off. But
I don't think it helped with the argument just before.
And
as
like
well.
with the domino task, he takes his time. Everyone else is rushing, got to get the domino task. And he takes his time, and he's very measured. It's almost like he goes into meditation mode, and he just gets... Because he's obviously spent a lot of time working on himself to calm that upside down.
It worked for him tonight, and he
Yeah.
saved himself in the game changer, which then saw Akeem and Isabella. It came down to Cameron. Cameron decided that Isabella's time was up. I mean, was that the right choice for you as well, do you think?
I think if you're looking at it from Cameron's... I honestly thought he would refuse to do it.
I thought he would have refused as well.
I thought he was going to say, I'm not ending someone's time. But when you look at it, I think it probably came down to she hasn't been in here from the beginning. And I think, had that have been me...
I think there was a point, though, I thought he might have gone for Akeem. There was a small part of me that think, I think he's going to go for Akeem because of the arguments with Lewis and that rivalry.
Yeah, but he can't always be there to stick up and do what Lewis...
True.
Do you know, I'm not saying that he does, before anyone gets on their fucking high horse. But, you know, he has to make his own decisions, and I think that was testament tonight to Cameron, that he doesn't always do what Lewis wants to do. He can make his own decisions, and... You know, he...
I am... He's got that haircut. I'm not going to Ralph Little. We are hemorrhaging time, but I want a bit of juice. What's going on at the weekend?
Well, the only thing I know is that they have another auction tomorrow.
Lovely.
And the top lot will be the final jigsaw piece.
Oh! No one knows what the
jigsaw piece is relevant, but we don't know why.
Oh, she's a tease! She's got eyes of a beauty, but the tease of a variety. I know what she's like. Well, listen, great night tonight. Absolutely loved it. I was living for tonight's
really
eviction.
nice.
I put it there myself. Give it up for Mrs. Dillon. Coming up, he's taken another trip on the information superhighway, also known as the internet, and he's come back slightly less innocent than before, but luckily for us, he's found some treats as well. Luke Kempner is back in the studio very soon. And the moment we've all been waiting for, Hussein and Isabella are here. There they are. We've had a little bit of time for the news to sink in, and now ready for a menage a trois with yours truly. If you miss it, I'll kick you. See you after the break. Welcome back to Big Brother's Bit on the Side. In just a moment, they've been kicked to the curb by their own housemates. Hussein and Isabella will both be here to give me the real story on their time in the house. But first, he clogs up my inbox every single Friday night. But you know what? I love it. He's my very own hot male. Yeah, you like that? I'm bringing it back. Ask your parents. It's Luke Kempner. Hot male.
Hello, Ryland. Well, look, once again, I have been all over the socials and I've had a looky look.
Looky look.
A looky look around to see what it is that has got you at home tapping away. But this week, Ryland, right, I've got a little game for you. Oh. You could call it a game changer. Yeah? So that's what they do in the show. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read out 4 tweets. Right. OK, and it's your job to guess who they're about.
OK.
All right, now, are you ready?
I'm always ready.
OK, here we go. So the first tweet is from Mickey Byrne.
Oh, Mickey Byrne.
From @MickeyByrne20. I don't know if he's Irish. And he says, why the fuck did blank... Whoa! Why the fuck did blank get involved? He didn't even address her. Can't believe I'm agreeing with Hussein. So it's why the fuck did blank get involved? You know, could it be Isabella? You know, the girl that goes up at the end of every one of her sentences? Could be her. Or it could be Zoe. Could be Zoe. I don't know. But who do you think? Why the fuck did blank get involved? What do you think, Ryland?
I think it's got to be Zoe, isn't it, about the argument?
The answer is Zoe!
Yay!
That's good, that's good. OK, here we go. Second one, here we go. Fully want blank to win. Absolutely fucking hilarious and can't be asked with other people's shit. Fully want blank to win. But could it be Thomas, girl?
Oh.
It could be Thomas, girl.
No, hang on. If it says can't be asked with other people's shit...
Well, that's the thing, like, Kian...
I don't think
it couldn't be Kian, because he loves to get involved.
All right, who do you think? All right, we'll go Cameron.
You think it's Cameron?
I don't think it is, though.
It was Thomas, girl!
Oh! Get out! Get out!
Daddy doesn't love you.
Daddy.
OK, Daddy. Right, here we go. Third one is from Michael Williams.
Oh, go on.
@MikeWilliams83. He says blank is jealous of blank 100%.
Right, now, this is hard. I think it's either Hussein is jealous of Lewis, or it's Cameron is jealous of Isabella.
You're fake. Who could it be? What do you think?
I'm going to say Cameron's jealous of Isabella.
OK. The answer is Zoe is jealous of Sean.
No.
Fake. OK. So, and the final one's really simple.
OK.
OK, really simple. You won't get this one wrong. Here we go. So blank fancies blank, and blank doesn't fancy blank. 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 Right?
Right, OK, I'm going to go. I'm looking at the screen.
That's from @CultureVulture.
OK, so Hussein fancies Isabella, and Isabella doesn't fancy Hussein, and Hussein doesn't fancy Cameron. Cameron fancies Lewis. Lewis doesn't fancy Cameron. And then I'm out.
Absolutely wrong.
Oh!
None of them. Sorry, Rylan.
Who was it?
I'm not going to read them out.
No, actually, don't read it. We'll just fill it in later. Luke, I love you to bits.
I love you.
Luke, Kevin, everyone. That was hard. That was really hard. All right, now, they've had us sometimes laughing, sometimes crying, but one thing's for sure, they've definitely been Big Brother housemates, but tonight, they were unfortunately both evicted. Give it up for Hussein and Isabella! Well done, get yourself over on that sofa, mate.
Hiya, mate!
Well done. You're going crazy. Mind your step. Cheers! Yes, I'm going to move you over, darling. Come over there, gorgeous. Perfect. Guys,
Thank you.
Gutted that you two are out already.
Whoa.
Such a shame. Listen, before we start this interview, it would be very regally rude of me if Hussein, I didn't give you your crown.
Oh, my
that you've been after for such a long time.
There we go.
You get that crown on. The king is now definitely in residence.
Thank you very much.
I mean, we've got to do it, haven't we?
Obviously.
Let me ask you both. You've had a little bit more time now for it to settle in. Hussein, I'm going to come to you first.
All right.
How did you feel? I mean, you kept saying it all week. I'm going, I'm going,
Yeah,
I'm
I
going.
kind of knew I was going over because obviously in the past housemates that have gone, like big characters have gone, so I classed myself obviously as a big character, the king.
Oh,
so,
you were a big character.
So yeah, not a surprise, but I'm a bit gutted that it weren't Lewis, but what can you do?
What can you do?
Yeah.
Exactly. But Isabella, I mean...
Come on.
What a way to go. I really felt for you tonight.
I felt for myself.
And I heard what you said to Emma as well.
I'm gutted.
It is really, really sad that you've gone tonight, and the way that you've gone. But I mean, what an absolutely memorable way to leave that house. It's got to be said. How are you feeling now? You've come out a little bit, and you've had a little bit of time.
I was panicking up there, and then I came out, and the doors opened, and everyone was so nice. They all cheered for me, so that made me feel better because my family's not here. And then.
But we're your new family.
Yeah. And now I've like calmed down a bit. I've like deflated and I started getting a bit teary, but I'm okay.
We're good.
Yeah,
we're
I'm good.
Well, listen, we've got you now, so there's no need to worry. I will definitely look after you both.
Just annoyed it was in their hands.
I know.
Like, you know.
And Cameron did you over?
Oh, shut up.
He's still going.
Cameron did you over?
He's still going. Well, listen, what do you think the mood's going to be like now? Because obviously you two were the late arrivals.
I think it's going to be a bit whack, to be honest.
Do ya?
Yeah, because come on. Hello. I'm gone. Like,
you definitely did bring the drama, Hussein.
Yeah.
I'm going to chat to you first, actually, because now that the king's been dethroned, as to say, I think it's fair to say that Storm Hussein hit pretty much right from the get-go.
Oh, Lord.
A lot of the other housemates thought you were playing a bit of a character. Who am I talking to tonight? Am I talking to Hussein, or am I talking to a character?
No, character a bit, I'd say.
You think it's a character?
No, this is, to be honest with you, Rylan, to be honest with you, this is how I am outside. Even when I'm getting ready for a night out, I walk in, my mates are like, I'm like, the king has arrived. Do you know what I mean?
But we saw moments of you, Hussein, in the diary room when you were talking about your past and talking about your mum and things like that, where a lot of people went, oh my God, like, this guy's not the guy that we're seeing outside of the diary room. And I think a lot of us actually went, oh God, he's a really sweet guy.
Yeah. I know, to be fair, I am sweet when it comes to my family and my friends, and like the M word gets me like big time because my mum is like my main inspiration in life.
I think we saw that.
So yeah.
Do you think you went in there a bit too bull in a china shop?
Yes.
No, I think I went in there myself, and
no, you didn't.
People can't take it. I think that's what it was.
I'm gonna ask you a question now, and I mean I don't know. Like we saw you open up about you growing up and things like that. Was there a part of you that went into Big Brother with that attitude, thinking you need to prove yourself to anyone, or prove maybe some of your haters or people you didn't like growing up wrong? Do you think?
A little bit, maybe a little bit, but it was more of just to show who I am and show, you know what, you got to stand up for yourself in certain situations.
God.
And
going on.
And you got to be yourself and really, like, go for it. Like, you got to carry yourself with arrogance and a bit of confidence. I strongly believe that.
Well, strongly believe that. You definitely did that, let me tell you.
Yeah, but you can be kind as well.
This is going to be a little bit awkward, though. We need to talk about your former queen, Isabella, and she's sat right next to you, which is going to be a bit... Let's remind ourselves of the divorce. Have a look.
Oh, no!
It's all about respect at the end of the day, yeah? If you respect our friendship, you don't roll with the opposition.
There ain't no opposition.
It is. It's my opposition in this house, man.
Do you know what? If the world evolved around people having petty arguments over hot tubs and never making up, there wouldn't be a world.
Yeah, oh no, fucking hell.
Do you not get that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you not get that?
Presidential speech, yeah, it's fine.
I mean, that night in the locker room, it was like, I mean, you both clicked so well when you both went in, and I really loved that bond between the pair of you. But Lewis seemed to really be stuck in the middle of this.
I think mainly because it was Lewis, yeah. That's why I was like that. I think if it was anyone else, I maybe would have like let it slide.
All right, let's just be open and honest. Do you fancy her? Yeah. You can tell Uncle Rylan, it's fine. Do you fancy her?
A little bit.
And obviously, you knew that Isabella had a bit of an eye for Lewis as well. Yeah. Let's talk about Lewis, because... Did you know this? Did you know this, that he fancied you?
Do you know what? Near the end, Zoe and a few people said something to me, but I was like, I've never thought of it.
You never thought
No,
that?
because I get on with lads, mate. I get on with guys quite well, like more so when I do girls. But I get on with girls, but I get on, well, you know, I get on with guys better, so I didn't...
I think you did try to get on with everyone in that house, to be perfectly honest. But there was one person in particular you definitely had your eye on, and that was Mr. Lewis. Now, in a weird way, the fact that you're both here tonight, it gives me quite an easy ride to actually ask these questions, because I'm going to get both sides.
Yeah.
Was the whole little thing with Isabella that was in your head that you thought she's a really pretty girl, I quite fancy her, and the guy that you didn't like, because I know you both watched the show before you come in, so you knew what the characters were in there. Is it because it was him that made this all 10 times worse for you?
100%.
Why?
100%. I don't know, we're just completely different people. He gets under my skin, I get under his skin.
Did you go in there wanting to get a reaction out of Lewis?
Obviously, I've watched the show previously, I'm not going to lie. I had my judgments on people, I didn't really like how Lewis moved. But I gave him time of day, I shook his hand, I was like, clean slate, but it was just, I don't know, it was just... We just don't get on, and once you're my opposition, end of story.
God. And that was it?
Yeah.
Isabella, you went in there, you know, you seemed a really sweet girl, you tried to get on with everyone, you had your arguments. We saw the argument with Lewis, obviously, in the hot tub, which really, really upset you as well. We've got the drama going on with Hussein and Lewis that you're kind of involved in as well. What was it about Lewis that you went, do you know what, no, I'm going to defend him, I want to defend him, I want to forgive him? He was fit?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's very nice to look at. Have I mentioned that?
only once or twice. Hussein's face is so awkward here, I can't be on it. Really, though? Go on.
And I could tell he didn't trust me. It came from deep within. Like, it wasn't like him... I don't think it was him being so much of a... as a dickhead, you know what I mean? I think he... It was a bit of a chase for me, and it's quite nice a girl having to... Not like chase for him or in that way, but to get him to trust me.
I just think we're having a little problem with your mic. Let me just grab that. Thanks, Rob. Can you just use that for me, darling? What I want to ask you about Lewis is, you were quite shocked at some of the people that nominated you tonight.
I was really shocked.
Who was the biggest shock for you?
The biggest shock for me was, I'd say Zoe.
Why Zoe?
Because I'd spent quite a bit of time with Zoe the last...
It's a cop-out move.
You think it was a cop-out, Zoe?
Simple cop-out, she's new.
There is something I need to tell you. Lewis actually nominated you this week.
I know.
Told her.
I know he did. We had a conversation, me and Lewis, in the kitchen. And I knew as soon as I was nominated, I thought he'd done it. Because he thought he mistook my flanter, like my giggling. Like, halfway through talking, I'd just start laughing. And in his head, he's thinking, why is she laughing? I'm thinking, I'm laughing because I find you really fit. I can't look at you.
Can't deal with it.
I can't deal with it. And I spoke to him.
You do seem really giggly over him. It seems really weird.
I know.
mean,
and I'm not like that. I'm really icy and cold. Like, I don't let anyone on the app. Like, I'm not seeing anyone.
We're completely running out of time, and it's so hard because I've got two of you here tonight in this three-part show. But I do need to ask, obviously, Hussein, I feel really awkward doing it, but outside of the Big Brother experience, would you like to meet up with Lewis and maybe see if anything could happen there?
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Were you taken for a ride?
Kick me to the curb,
Yeah, on Cracker. Well, listen, guys, honestly, you have both definitely brought a lot of late arrival drama to the house, shall I say, but no one goes away empty-handed on my show. You are both very proud owners now of Rylands. Farewell, thanks! I'm going to put them there. But guys, come with me. Because, come on, you. Hussein, come with me. Mind that step. Because from that moment of toothy ta-ra to the moment they all dread. Guys, Isabella, come here. Spin yourself round. It's time to turn you both red. There you go. But you have both been brilliant housemates. Get over and join the panel. Hussein and Isabella, everyone. Oh. Drama, I wish I'd more time. Coming up, we're going to have an exclusive look at what's been happening in the house since tonight's shock double eviction. And, well, guess what's back? Hussein and Isabella will be answering the questions they never wanted to be asked as they disappear down my very deep, very dark hole in the final farewell! I'll be getting wet and wild after this. Hello, Mum! Welcome back to Big Brother's bit on the side, still to come tonight. Oh, hang on. It's breaking news from the house, and it seems that the housemates are still reeling from the events of tonight, and it looks like Cameron is feeling totes emotion.
This is Big Brother, this is what they do. This is what they... Wait. I couldn't evict the key. We've been there from the start. It's not fair. It's bullshit reason.
That's not a bullshit reason. You had to make a choice. It's not like you just kicked someone out because you wanted to. You didn't want to do that.
For God's sake, come on. It's not fair. You had to do it. You were forced to do it, mate. No.
This is part of your experience in here. This is part of your Big Brother experience.
I didn't dislike.
No, I know, but this is part of your Big Brother experience.
Little Ralph Little from the royal family there, upset. Isabella, let me come to you first. He's feeling a little bit guilty, but he said it sounds like a bullshit reason, but a king has been there since the beginning.
I don't think that is the reason, though. I think it's because I was getting close to Lewis.
Yeah. Oh. You think it's because you were getting close to Lewis?
And I think that him and Lewis had a really strong friendship, and it's obvious that, and it's beautiful, and Lewis has helped him so much, and how his life's transformed is amazing. You know, it's beautiful. But since me and Lewis have obviously learnt to trust each other, or Lewis has learnt to trust me and realised I'm not coming in with any, secret task or whatnot, we finally started getting close, and he was trusting me, and I think Cameron was worried that
Didn't like that.
He was worried that he might...
Hussein, you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. Jealous little snake.
Oh! Well, no offence, as much as I love you two, I am well bored of this conversation. It is time for the moment each evictee well dreads. It's time for the final farewell!
Well, it's time for the final farewell.
Well. Before we have our final farewell to our evictees, we have one more scarily deep hole for them to get into. Or two on this occasion. Bring on the second well! Isabella! Up! I mean, who said the budget was low this series? I'm going to shoot some well serious questions at you both, and I want your rapid response. Are you ready?
Ready.
Isabella, are you ready?
I'm ready!
Good. Hussein, I'll start with you.
Go on, then.
Which of the housemates might as well not be there?
Sean.
Oh! Isabella. Which housemate is H2 over the top?
Cameron.
Oh! Hussein, this is a hard question. Who should go next?
Who the fuck do you think? Lewis, man.
Oh!
Jesus!
Isabella. Who wants to be the top of the house and the most well-off?
Zoe.
Oh!
Zoe.
Hussein, out of all the boys, who's the most well-hung?
Lewis!
Who do you think?
Probably me.
Yeah,
Come find out and see.
All right, darling. Oh, we can sort that out if you're up there. Anyway, Isabella, who has the worst bowel habits?
Oh, I don't know really about.
I need an answer.
Thomas.
Hussein, who got you welling up in there?
Me mother.
Oh, your mum, bless her. Isabella, who needs to water down the house? Shut up. I'm going to ask you a question now. Who said this about you? He's fake as fuck. The only thing real about him was his tacky designer clothes.
What?
I need an answer.
Probably Lewis. Or Cameron.
It was Lewis! Isabella.
Tacky clothes.
She's starting to annoy me now. Her laugh is very, very annoying.
Zoe.
You think it was Zoe? It was Lewis.
My guy too, yeah?
It's time to go. Let's get you out of here. Take care, darling. Isabella, ta-da, darling. You take the well with you. You can keep it. Bye-bye. Ah, lovely. Oh, shame. Shame. That is about it for tonight, and indeed for this week, that well. My thanks to my fabulous Friday panel, my audience as ever, and to you lot home for staying with me through thick and thin. I'm going to be back on Monday night just after 11 with more from your evictees, Hussein and Isabella. Plus, Josie Gibson's going to be here as well. But for now, have an amazing weekend. And sweet dreams, my LAX. Night night.